How's everybody doing? This is Johnny Concert. Welcome to the Johnny Concert podcast. We're doing something a little different tonight. I have a special guest.
I'm Cynthia Madden Leitner, and I asked Johnny if I could interview him to start the show.
I wanted to interview her, but she said no.
I said, yeah, you can ask me a few questions, but I'm going to ask you a lot of questions,
Okay.
Right, Johnny? Okay, first of all, I think your audience probably knows you as Johnny Concert, not as John McLaughlin, but I want to know how you got that name Johnny Concert and who gave it to you.
Well, I came up with it myself. I used to always be John. I was never Johnny till maybe 10, 15 years ago. And a couple of girls at the Goosetown Tavern just called me Johnny. And so then I was thinking of a name when I started writing after it was a Metallica concert I saw. And I decided, I read a review of it, and I said, I think I could write a better review. The concert was so amazing. And I read this review, and it's just blah. And I'm like, I want to try to describe what it was like to be there and do a review. And so I wrote a review just for kicks, and it was pretty good. And so then I started writing articles and taking pictures of bands and stuff. I said, well, I need a cool name, And so in literature, they have the initials JC are quite popular. William Faulkner's Light in August, and Grapes of Wrath, Tim Casey. And Joe Christmas in Light in August.
Yeah, and Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. That's what it's about. Is the JC is the Jesus Christ. So I said, it's got to be JC. And I said, well, Johnny Concert. It just came right out. And so
yeah.
It sounded pretty good.
Okay, so you named yourself Johnny Concert.
I dubbed myself that.
Did you do a lot of articles?
About 150.
Oh, my gosh. How many years?
Let's see. It was probably 2004 or something I started. But I don't know why it took me so long to start, because I love writing and I love concerts, and I have no idea why it took so long. But.
Okay. What was the first concert you ever went to?
Well, the rock concert was the Cars in 1983.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
McNichols Arena. We used to call it Big Mac in Denver, Colorado.
They were one of my favorites, too.
They were, eclectic band, and they were kind of new wavy, but they were kind of rock and roll. And then sometimes the guitar solo would be like the heavy metal shredding guitar solo in the middle of this kind of more moody keyboard song.
Where did you say you went and saw them?
At the McNichols Arena. We call it Big Mac.
McNichols, right.
Named after one of our great mayors.
Basketball arena.
Yeah, basketball and a concert.
So you're such an expert on going to concerts, music, sound, etc. What's your most favorite venue you've ever been to see a concert?
Oh, great question. I mean, it's hard to go against Red Rocks, but because Red Rocks is just so iconic, and just on a great summer night, the wind blowing in your hair and the nice warm temperature and the sound bouncing off the rocks is really good sound. But, I mean, the Bluebird is one of my favorites. I just love the Bluebird.
Is it the ambience?
It's small, so you get a good seat anywhere there. The levels are just right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go to a place that has levels, but
too.
you still can barely see over the, people in front of you. And so it's just...
Well, who have you seen at the Bluebird that you love?
Oh, good question. Who have I seen at the Bluebird? Armored Saint and George Lynch. It's called the Lynch Mob. This is from Dawkins. George Lynch from Dawkins has another band called the Lynch Mob. And so they played there, and the cool part about that was the owner of the Bluebird is Chris Swank, and Chris Swank and I saw Armored Saint open up for Metallica in 1985, and we were sitting next to each other. So then in 2004, we're sitting next to each other watching Armored Saint play. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And we were sitting next to each other in '85 watching them, and now you booked them and you're on the venue, and we're watching them again, and they were just as good. So Armored Saint's one of the best live acts of all time.
Well, you're a Pink Floyd fan. I know that. What did you think of the last concert that Roger Waters did in Denver?
It was incredible. It was a crazy story. And I walked in, and one of my favorite solo tracks Roger Waters does is called The Powers That Be. I believe it's on the Radio Chaos album. And he was playing The Powers That Be. It's just a great, great song. And got some horns, got some, it's hard to describe. Got a little choir backup vocals, almost a little choir in the back. And The Powers That Be. And so that was awesome. And then it was so trippy to sit there and watch the screens, and it was so, I mean, it was weird. I was It was crazy. And at one point, I swear to God, I thought Roger Waters was controlling my brain, and I had to leave early.
Oh no! I stayed through that whole concert.
It was really good, though. It
completely
was
enamored
incredible.
with
It was
him.
absolutely incredible.
I mean, he was fantastic.
I mean, he's incredible.
Yeah. Okay. So Pink Floyd's one, and then I heard you in one of your podcasts say that you really liked Rush.
Rush is my favorite band of all
That
time.
just blew me away.
I know. Some people don't understand it.
I want to know the reason
People don't
Rush
understand
is your
it.
favorite
I don't know.
band.
They're just, I love those guys, and they could do no wrong in my
Is
eyes.
it because of your history connected to
Well, that's part
watching
of it.
them
Part
or
of it
listening
was,
to them? Or you were in a great place
Tom
when they
Sawyer
first
was,
came out?
when it first came out, I used to hang out with my buddies, my neighbors, the Kurtz brothers, and Greg and Brad Kurtz, and my friend was Matt. And the older brothers they each had their own rack system, stereo system, and their own set of albums in a crate, and they took meticulous care of them. They were all in their, you don't turn the sleeve so you could just slide it out. You have to take the sleeve out, then take it out the other way. And then they had covers on all of them as well. And they had all of Deep Purple, all of Led Zeppelin, all of Rush. But then they would have Grandmaster Flash, they'd have Earl Klugh, they'd have Tommy Bolin, they'd have
Wow.
David Sanborn, but it was mostly hard rock. And so they're the ones that showed me Rush. And
Well, then you're sitting there with your buddies and you're having a great time, and it's nostalgic.
Nostalgia.
You know, I don't want to date myself too badly, but when the Beatles came out,
Yeah.
I did that with a group of my friends
Sure,
too. Got
sure.
together. We had an old crummy record player, you know,
Yeah.
but still,
It's okay.
those times are invaluable, right?
Invaluable. And then they had a stand-up pinball machine. So we'd play pinball all day and listen to Rush. And that album, Moving Pictures, is a phenomenal album. And Tom Sawyer was just so catchy. And so I was probably in 8th grade, maybe.
So what bands do you think that you really love and know people will be listening to 300 years from
Well,
now?
that's a good question that I always ask. I mean, we still listen to Mozart. He's
Yeah, yeah,
about 1750. And we still listen to Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, all those bands, and the Beatles. But are there any bands right now that we'll be listening to in 50 years? I'm not sure there are.
Yeah.
I don't know of any.
So how do you think music's going to change? We've seen, you're quite a bit younger than I, but I've seen music change so much over the years, and so have you.
Absolutely.
I mean, what's the next thing in music?
That is, I think about that all the time.
Because old
It's,
rockers, you know,
where's
they don't move on because everybody still
we're trying to
loves
move
rock
on,
and
but
roll.
we don't have to
well, everybody loves rock and roll.
What's the next Led Zeppelin? What's the next Pink
Yeah,
Floyd? Where are
yeah.
they? I don't know where they are. And so it's really concerning and a little disquieting to think about what happens when, Ozzy Osbourne died recently, obviously. And so all my heroes are about to die. What am I going to do? Go to B-level concerts instead of A-level concerts? I don't know. But, the new thing is like we just were talking about the Incision. We saw,
EDM, Excision.
Excision or Incision. Whichever one.
Excision,
you want.
at Fiddler's Green.
That tells you a little bit. It tells you a little bit about my feelings about the EDM, how into EDM I am. But the stage show it's absolutely astounding how amazing the stage show is. It's riveting. It's just mesmerizing, and
I freaking don't know how they pay for it, even though, they make good bank off the tickets.
I don't know how people don't have seizures. There's so much.
They actually love their audience so much that they put on that kind of show for them.
It's got to cost a fortune.
Right.
You're right.
Right.
But so it's great, and so the new music out there, like the new concerts are almost like more of an event, an entertainment, more like an event, an extravaganza or whatever, instead of just a musical concert.
So do you like it when a lot of the groups involve film, lighting, etc.? And let's go a step down from Excision.
Yeah.
Like Hosier, he's only
He had some
35.
cool
But
stuff.
I mean, you go down.
That was a good
Do you
concert,
like
actually.
how they integrate film and
I do. It's a
lighting
fine line between.
or do you think it's a cop out?
Well, Carlos Santana used to say, "We're not going to flash lights in your eyes and pretend we're good. We really know how to play our instruments." So there is something to be said about that.
Yeah.
But my basic thing, I go back to basics, is if I go in there and I'm standing there and I leave and say that was fucking great, then it was fucking great.
Then what makes it fucking great?
That's a great question.
What
Great
makes
question.
it? Is it the vibe? Is it the connection with the audience? Is it the guitars? Is like
I'm
one
huge
like
into the guitars.
Like I got to see Stevie Ray Vaughan once at Fiddler's. That was
I was
like
at that concert.
out of
I was
sight.
there.
Yeah,
It's just
I mean,
fantastic.
so-
that's part of it. The tightness of the band, the way they play off each other, the way the lead guy, like Ozzy Osbourne, played with the audience so well. I mean, he had the audience in the palm of his hands, and he was not happy unless everybody there was having a good time. And he would his job was I mean, he really took that seriously, and he was one of the guys. You know when they say put your hands in the air, when Ozzy said it, you'd actually put your hands in the air and go back and forth like that. Everyone would. When everybody does it, it's like, well, half of us might, depends on the song. And half of us, like, we want to look around, like, are we going to be cool if we put our hands up, But Ozzy, everybody put their hands up, and he would command the stage, and he was like that. But yeah, so there's something to be said about the audience interaction with the musicians.
Well, and how the audience connects with each other. I mean, I went and saw Billy Strings at Fuller's Green, and I really hadn't listened to much of his music. I know you're a big metal fan.
Yeah.
But there's something about what that guy does. The audience feels connected to each other.
It was impressive.
And they jam.
They jammed.
What do you think about
And he played a Pink Floyd
musicians
song.
that jam?
He played a Pink Floyd song.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I love the Allman Brothers. So my best concert I've ever seen are Pink Floyd, and 1 and 2. Then Roger Waters, then Allman Brothers, then Metallica, Iron Maiden, and Judas Priest. All the next
What's
ones.
your favorite song of the Allman Brothers?
Oh, In Memory of Elizabeth Reed. It's my favorite song of the
Can
Allman
you
Brothers.
sing a little bit of it?
It's an instrumental. And it's got several parts to it.
Okay, can you hum a little bit of
Memory of Elizabeth Reed. You love it. That's our producer Dave. We're at the Alley Studios in Denver, Colorado. And that's our producer Dave there. So I actually, just for a tangent, I was at the Ogden Theater one time, and I got to go backstage when Dickie Betts got kicked out of the Allman Brothers because they went sober and he was still partying. So they kicked him out, and he has a side band called Great Southern. So they put it at the Ogden Theater, and I went in and got to go backstage with Dickie Betts and talk to him, and he said, it was halftime at the concert. He said, what's your favorite song? I'll play your favorite song. I said, Memory of Elizabeth Reed. So he came out, and I named my boat. I used to have a speedboat, 20-foot speedboat. I named it the Liz Reed. And so he came out and played that song, and it was pretty cool.
Hey, did you answer the question about 300 years from now?
I don't know. But I was going to call the podcast "But I Digress" because I've already had like 17 tangents from that. But to bring it back, that's what I want my producer to always remind me. Well, you did tangent 179, point 179, but you went on tangent on these ones.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anybody that we're going to be listening to.
Well, the Beatles, I'll bet you.
Well, the Beatles, okay, yes, right. The Beatles, Led Zeppelin, on Pink Floyd, those guys. But nobody after like 80, after like 90.
Not.
I don't know if there's anybody after 90. The band began after 90.
I don't either.
The band began after 90. They might still be going after 90.
Well, I just took the liberty of touching your jacket.
Yes.
This is like the original, right?
This is the original biker jacket.
Do you have the motorcycle that goes with it?
No, I don't. But what's funny is this sleeve is more weathered than this one. For putting your arm on that when you're driving. And,
now everybody copies that jacket.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
It's out of sight.
We'll pre-weather the left side.
You never wanted the motorcycle.
That's right. Well, for some reason, I had lots of cars, but I never had a motorcycle.
I don't know.
But I could ride a little bit.
Motorcycles, kind of do something to some people. They just don't want to do it.
Yeah, well, there's that. But I'm pretty crazy too. I don't know if I'd be alive anymore. Speaking of motorcycle accidents, Dwayne Allman died.
Now, why do you call yourself crazy?
Because
you want to be?
I don't know. Like, we used to do these in high school. We used to go, we'd take LSD and go to Gross Reservoir all night. And I would always drive because I was the only one that could drive when we were that high. And on the way back, it was on Highway 93. There's 2 lanes, 1 lane each way, big ditches on either side, and no streetlights. So we play this game where I turn the headlights on, and the first person that said turn them back, turn them off, put them off, and the first person that said turn them back on lost. And we keep going until, and I would rather die than lose that game.
This is like playing chicken in Nebraska.
It was crazy. We were going 70 miles an hour, and somebody's saying, you couldn't see a damn thing. I don't know what I was thinking, but.
Oh, that didn't make you crazy if you could drive like that.
Well, but it was dark. It's dark at night. It was pretty dark, and so we couldn't see anything. And I said, I would rather die.
Well, you're
It was-
truly
it was
one
like
of the smarter people I've ever met, and I've met a lot of.
Well, thank you.
I've had the good fortune of meeting a lot of artists, and so many of them are like so bright. So,
Thank you
and
very
you
much.
can carry on a conversation, and you bring up information on almost any subject, especially if we're talking about all those posters that were produced in the '60s. Remember,
Oh,
we
yeah,
were at
yeah,
Family
yeah.
Dog.
That's right.
I mean, you not only knew the artist, you knew.
That was
you
so
knew-
cool that,
you
that
knew.
you did that family dog party. That
Yeah.
was fantastic. We had a venue in Denver, Colorado. It was only open 1 year. Was it 67? It was only open 1 year.
Well, it was up
Or
open
60?
for 10 months.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't even a full year.
Yeah, 10
And-
months, and it
but
was
had-
right when Haight-Ashbury was breaking in San Francisco.
Yes.
And it wasn't Chuck that went
It was
out
Barry
there, but
Fay.
somebody, it was somebody pre-Barry. He went out to San Francisco
Oh.
and talked them these acts to come to Denver.
Wow.
And it
But
kind
Barry
of...
owned it. Is that true? The family dog? Or Barry
God.
opened it? I think Barry opened it.
I don't know. Barry
was-
gets a lot of credit for a lot of things. I don't know
Yeah,
if he gets it for that.
Okay,
but I
okay.
mean, he was on the Shirt Tails. Maybe.
I thought he was. I
You
thought
have
that
a
was
better
his first thing
memory
before
than
the
I
rainbow.
do, and I had to
I thought
research
that's what he
on
did
that.
before the rainbow, but I'm not 100% sure.
It could have been.
It had Jim
but
Morrison,
just
Jimi
10
Hendrix.
months, and they shut it down because of pot.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the cop. There was a cop that was at. If you watch the show on the Family Dog,
Okay.
the video, there's a cop that was after the Family Dog to
Oh,
shut it
no.
down. So he found a way to do it, but it was like out of sight. And actually, that's
Out of
when
sight. It's
Red
the perfect
Rocks.
word to say about it.
When Red Rocks broke was sort of after that.
But so what
And
was?
Jefferson Airplane played there.
Jefferson
I
Airplane.
mean, the Doors.
Yeah,
and-
Janis Joplin played as the Family Dog.
yeah, you were too
And Pig
little.
Pen from the Grateful Dead played the Family Dog.
Yeah,
it
you
was-
were way too little for
I think
that.
it was 67, right? Is that true? Do you know?
Well, either 67 or 68.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I should know.
I thought it was some
You're probably right. We'll check that
We're gonna
fact.
have to
We'll
double check
fact
that
check
one. Yes, we
that
will.
later, right?
That was a great party. That it was to celebrate that. Is,
yeah, wasn't it?
Nobody
yeah.
does. And it was for charity, and it was just that was a blast. Nobody does stuff like that. So
Yeah. Okay, Johnny, do you play an instrument?
I grew up playing classical piano.
Oh, my
And then for some reason I stopped doing that. I don't know why. I'm getting back into it. And then I just started taking drum lessons because I'm Johnny Concert. I talk about all this music and stuff. And so it's like if a football announcer that's never played football. You know, and after a while, like, well, you know a lot about football, dude, but you never took a hit in the game. You know, so I figured I got to have to start learning instruments, and 'cause I
Well,
want to know certain times when.
God, classic piano?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big time instrument.
Yeah, it
right?
was pretty good. I had studied theory and all that stuff.
Do you still have a piano?
I have an electric piano, and I know my mom recently gave away our great piano we had. It was a stand-up piano, but it was still a great piano.
Those are hard to fit in the living room.
You know, they are, and they go out of tune. And,
You have to
and,
get rid of your TV when you put that
Well,
in.
imagine that. That would be
Not
It would probably be
anymore,
the best
but-
thing we ever did. But but then I've started to get back into it because I want to, I want to be more authentic and know more about what I'm talking about when I present myself as an expert in music. And so I recently started taking drum lessons. I've taken about 15 lessons, and it's very difficult. It's challenging, and it's a blast. It's the most fun I have. That hour is the most fun I have all week. And,
Now, your
pretty close to the
producer,
top.
David's teaching you.
Yes, the producer of the show is
Yeah, that's
teaching
so
me drums.
great.
He's a fantastic
I love
drummer.
it. Is there
He's been drumming
another
his whole life.
instrument you want to learn to
Well, I'm going to start playing guitar. I can strum a little bit, but I could play Been Through the Desert on a Horse with No Name. I can play the beginning of that.
Not bad. Who's your
so-
favorite guitarist?
Joe Satriani is probably my favorite guitarist.
God, for people who don't know who that is,
Yeah,
who
he's
is
phenomenal. But I got.
Who is
he's,
that? Who is that?
He's a solo artist. He's never really played. Well, he played at Deep Purple for a minute when they needed a replacement for a tour, and he played in a band called Chickenfoot recently. But in general, he's just Joe Satriani. He's.
God,
I
I'm
think
gonna
he
have
played.
to listen to
he
him,
did play in a
too.
band when he was a little kid. I think when he was really young. But he's just a guitarist extraordinaire, virtuoso. Taught Steve Vai, taught Kirk Hammett from Metallica, taught Larry Lalonde from Primus was a student of his also, and he's just phenomenal,
Well, he passed it on then.
just so good, and I think the guy from what was that? What else? There's County Crows or one of those bands.
County
That's
Crows
kind of
is
funny.
coming to Fiddlers.
Okay.
You're going to go, right?
So I go to almost all the Fiddler shows.
Oh, you do?
I live 10 blocks from one of our famous amphitheaters. Is owned by this lady right here, and she also has attached to a museum, which is very cool. And so when you walk through the VIP entrance, you walk through the museum to go to the amphitheater. And
Instead of the gift shop, you walk through the museum.
That's right. But there's also they have a stage now in the side park. It's a beautiful park with the most comfortable grass I've ever walked on. And
it is cushy, isn't it?
It's so cushy. It's literally one of the most comfortable surfaces I've ever walked on. So and then there's a path around the outside with all the Alice in Wonderland scenes, which is very cool. And then they put on great shows. And they recently got a new stereo system about 5 years ago, maybe. That's just outstanding. It's the best sound of any venue.
The Fiddler's sound.
The Fiddler's Green.
Oh,
it's
God.
absolutely, it's astounding. It's hard to describe how good it is. I like to say about sound is when you can hear every instrument separately and together at the same time. And it just, wow.
Also, I was at Dick's Sporting Field seeing Hosier, and the sound was so bad that all you could hear, because I was seats over here, all you could hear was the bass coming out the side.
Oh, no.
And that's not a bass show.
No. But Hosier played in Fiddler's Green 2 years ago.
Oh, and he was
good
amazing.
Show. That was a really good concert.
You went and saw that? That was,
I was at that one. I was impressed by that one.
Yeah.
I'm mostly metal, hard rock, but I go to every concert because I want to be able to be Johnny Concert. I want to be in the conversation about everybody.
Do you ever travel to go see a show?
I used to go to New Mexico a lot, to the Albuquerque Journal Pavilion, which is a bit like a version of Fiddler's Green, their version of Fiddler's Green. And a lot of times for some reason, bands would skip Denver sometimes, but they'd always play in Albuquerque because Albuquerque has a huge heavy metal contingency. So when I went and saw Iron Maiden down there, at least probably 70 or 80% of the people at the concert had the Iron Maiden shirt on. It was incredible. And so I would fly. It's cool because you fly down, you go up, you come down. That's the flight. And then you go to the concert. We used to go to this restaurant. I think it's called the Library. And have a couple drinks, and we go to the concert, and then we go to the strip club, and then we go to the airport, and then we pass out till the first flight came, and we come right back.
Yeah,
so that was
it's
our
like you never left home.
It's like it was the same day.
It's like going to a party a couple hours
It's
away.
like going to a party, staying late, and passing out and staying all night. And so I would do that a lot. I've seen some good shows just wherever I happen to be on a vacation or something. A show would be. I saw the Allman Brothers play at. What was it? There's a park there in San Diego. It's Balboa Park.
I've
Park.
been
They've got a
there.
little mini amphitheater
yeah.
out there, and I happened to see the Allman Brothers there.
Yeah, do you go to California a lot?
My father lived in San Diego for years, so I used to go out there all the time. And my brother went to UCLA, so he lived in LA for a while, so I'd go out there. And San Diego has some great venues. It's really fun to see concerts there. And a lot of those musicians are from Southern California. So they'll play, if they're getting ready for a tour, they'll just play some shows just to warm up, There's, sometimes those guys just, they want to play. And when my brother went to UCLA, sometimes he'd call me up and say, I was walking to class yesterday, and all of a sudden Jane's Addiction was playing in the quad, just unannounced, on a Tuesday afternoon. And so I didn't make it to class.
Just jamming together.
Just jamming. They just set up their stuff and start playing. I was like, what the hell? And so it's those fun things like that in Southern California. But I've seen Primus at the Warfield in San Francisco. I've seen some bands. One time Sade played Fiddler's Green.
Yeah.
And Sade was so good, I flew out to New York City, and then I saw her at Jones Beach in New Jersey. That's a good venue.
Well, in your next lifetime, do you want to come back as a musician?
I still think of myself as kind of a musician.
A theater musician.
A theater musician, maybe?
A musician in a band, lead guitarist or star drummer.
I don't know if I want to be the singer or the guitarist, but...
which would you want to be?
I don't know.
Well, maybe you want to come back as something else.
The drums have intrigued me lately, and that's my thing I'm doing right now. But I think I'm doing like Jeff Beck. I learned about cars, and I learned about guitars and cars. And I had to do it all over again.
we can switch over to cars.
Yeah.
What's your favorite car you ever had?
I had a 1967 Mustang Fastback. That was midnight blue.
Oh God, do I remember those?
And it was incredible. It was the coolest car. It had a chrome package on it, so it had chrome underneath the doors, the chrome little little flares when you open the door, like right there, and the chrome slits in the hood, chrome all over the back, and chrome louvers down the side. It was like Bullet, Steve McQueen in the movie Bullet.
Yeah.
It was like that. Or Nicolas Cage in Gone in 60 Seconds, although his is a Shelby 500. It's a little different, a little higher up.
What happened to that car?
I went 150 miles an hour, got arrested, and sold it to pay my lawyer. So when I bought it from this guy, my buddy John, I said, "Why would you ever sell this car? It's the prettiest car. It's the coolest looking car. I mean, one of the coolest looking cars I've ever seen." He said, "I'd sell it for the same reason you're gonna sell it one day. It's too fucking fast." And sure enough, that's the reason I sold it too. I wish I hadn't.
What are you driving now?
I have my old Mercedes 1981 380 SL. It's my favorite car. And then I have a Volvo just to drive around town, a Volvo X60, which is pretty nice, SUV, to go to the mountains and stuff
So
like that.
you like the older cars?
Yeah, I do. And a friend of mine, she just inherited a few bucks, and he said, "So you going to get a new car?" He said, "Yeah, but nothing unless it's older than 2000. I don't want any computer shit. I don't want any of that bullshit. I have to have an old car."
Yeah, you have to learn a whole new way of driving when you
you can't work on them. You can't work on them at all.
Well, no, you can't mess around with them in your driveway or anything.
Yeah, not that I've been known to work on cars, but at least I pop the hood and look and see if there's anything obvious before I take it to the mechanic. Although if there's a wire that's cut in half, then I know that's could be it.
Did you go to Las Vegas to see the dad?
I did not. I did not. I'm dying to go to the Sphere.
Yeah.
I seen even just somebody's video on a phone that shows me is like, wow.
Yeah, my kids and I all went last 4th of July to see the dad in the Sphere.
How cool is that?
I would have thought
Tell
that was
us about
something you would have done. And Sky says they're going to be in San Francisco. I don't know. Are you a big fan of the dad?
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not.
so.
I love him, but I like him. I saw Jerry 5 times, but it's like when I'm so into music. If you're a deadhead, you have to be a deadhead. You have to study. You have to know. You can't just like be a half of a Grateful Dead fan if you're into music as I am. So you either be a full deadhead or you're just like not really a deadhead, because to be a half a deadhead is just that doesn't make any sense.
So full deadheads, they follow the band,
Yes,
and they go everywhere.
I know, and I can tell you how many shows they've seen with Jerry, and then they'll just they'll talk about, dude, Eyes of the World for Cornell '77, bro, best ever. Okay, are you sure? I mean, it's just. It's a bit much sometimes, and so I've always liked him, but I just was not. Heavy metal's.
Heavy metal's your thing. Did you go to the Metallica concert?
I went to both Metallica concerts. I think that was the 24th and 25th time
Okay,
I
I got Sky's kind of,
well,
critique
Sky,
on the Metallica
Sky was on the floor,
concert.
and what happened was he was a little ways. He wasn't, unless you were right up front on the floor, it was hard to see stuff because the height of the stage.
Yeah, I think that should be a tip for everyone in a stadium show.
Yeah, he wasn't happy, but it was I gave it a Friday night an A and Sunday night an A plus. It was a really good concert.
Even in that huge stadium.
And the sound quality in a stadium, which is hard to do, was absolutely, just mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's the heavy metal concert I wish I could have seen.
And it was the song selection, too. I mean, they opened up with... So I've been singing Whiplash all week in preparation for the show. It was in my head. And thrashing all around, acting like a maniac, Whiplash. And they opened up the show with that on Sunday night. They opened up with Whiplash.
Perfect for
the
you.
first album, Kill 'Em All. And so this is just one of the more obscure songs that you would really guess that they probably wouldn't play. And they opened the whole
So when you go to a concert like that, do you like to go solo or with a bunch of people?
A lot of times lately I go by myself.
Yeah.
Because
I've always
I can meet people there.
If you
want to hang out, I'll see you there.
Yeah.
But I want to go whenever I want to go. I usually go late.
Yeah.
Or I go whenever the hell I feel like going. I've seen Metallica 25 times. If I'm a little late, so be it. I wasn't late, but it's whatever I feel like doing. I don't want somebody else get upset that I want to sit over here.
How old are those Metallica guys now? I really lost track.
Well, I saw them in '85. They were probably, I don't know, they were probably 20 years old in '85, something like that.
Oh, okay.
So they're probably, I think they're born in
So
the
they're
60s.
like 60s and they're
They're
60s.
probably 60 years old,
Yeah.
probably young 60s. And
Yeah.
James Hetfield lives in Vail, Colorado. No,
How are they holding up?
their sound was absolutely incredible. I mean, they were
Yeah.
really good.
What are those guys doing? Did they like quit drinking all their drugs? And
I know they
did
quit
all-
for a while. They seemed a bit tipsy on Sunday night.
Did they?
In a good way. In a good way, because it was just
Yeah.
slightly sloppy. But Metallica's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be, rock and roll's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be just a little bit of sloppiness in
Yeah,
there.
digital
which
compared to.
It's just, sometimes it's too clean.
Yeah.
I've got a good story. I was a girlfriend of mine. Her girlfriend dated the lead guitar player from Merciful Fate, the heavy metal band, Merciful Fate. And so he came to Denver to hang out with her for a week, and we were doing stuff together. And so after a few days, she said, "Johnny, what am I going to do with him? I'm trying to think what's something cool that he wants to do, you know?" And so I was talking to him. His name Renee. Hank Sherman's his name. I said, "What, you want to go see the Steve Vai? Steve Vai's playing tomorrow night in Boulder." He said, No, I don't like Steve Vai. He's too clean. He said, "I like it dirty like Judas Priest." Steve Vai, one of the best guitar players in the history of the world. Played for Frank Zappa. He's so dang talented. Nobody can ever deny. He's just phenomenal guitar virtuoso. And he wasn't interested at all. Because it's just too clean.
So I bet you play records.
I play records.
Yeah, you play records because digital is too clean and perfect.
My old Mercedes has a tape deck, so I play a little bit of tapes.
And tape
in general,
decks. Oh, tape
in general, I know,
decks.
cassette.
Oh, my God.
Cassette.
Oh, that's
but in general,
fantastic.
records and or YouTube. YouTube if I want to see some obscure, or some documentary I haven't seen, or some obscure cut that a lot of stuff that wasn't even released, and now like they'll release it years later, and you see it on YouTube, and it's you don't have the album because they didn't put it out. So there's some cool stuff you can find on YouTube, and you can go down a rabbit hole on YouTube really easily too. You just play something, an algorithm shows you something you don't know that you want to know, because it's really cool. Like recently, a band called Corelia, Corelia, which just came up because of the other music I listened to, and it was really pretty badass.
Really?
I was really impressed.
I've never heard of them.
I've never heard of either.
What's a day in the life of Johnny Concert? What's a typical day for you? I mean, as typical as you can get, or a day you're willing to talk about.
Well, I was going to say, a lot of it's X-rated, some of it's top secret.
Well, just take a day that you want to share with your audience.
Today I got up late and I had to run a couple errands, took my girlfriend to the doctor, sat by the pool. I have a pool in my backyard. I'm very fortunate to have a pool in my backyard, sat by the pool, and then realized how late it was, and rushed to get here. So that was my day.
That was a summer day.
That was a
summer
stopped
day.
at Safeway, got some food, and that was a pretty simple day today.
Well, that's like an everyman's day, right?
But yes, usually
Tell us about the dark side of the moon day.
Oftentimes I like to go to a concert, so I'm just thinking about planning my day around the concert that night, and thinking about the logistics of where I'm gonna have to drive, what time I'm gonna go, and how I'm gonna get tickets, or if I need to get some tickets for somebody else, or what I'm gonna do that way. And,
because that's your life. Right?
That's my life.
That's your life.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
So, and then every once in a while, I go up to the mountains. Every once in a while, I go on vacation.
Oh, do you do?
But not enough. I don't know why. The older you live in Denver, you go to the mountains, and the older you get, I've found that the less you go to the mountains, even though they're right there, and it's so great, and you know it's so great. Why?
Because the traffic.
The traffic, that's part of it.
We're all like, we just go, we can see them up there.
Well, we're scared of the traffic, because every once in a while you go, there's no traffic. But in general, yes, the traffic is...
So if you do go to the mountains, where do you like to go?
Winter Park. I like to go to Winter Park.
Oh, okay.
I like to go, it depends on... depends. I've got friends up in the mountains, so I usually go wherever they're living,
Yeah.
If I got a place to stay, then that's where I'll go. But, Vail's amazing. But Aspen's incredible. But I go to Aspen usually, like, sometimes for the X Games, because I got some radio friends that will give me some tickets to ski tickets, and some... I know a couple people up there, so... Wow, my buddy, he screwed the pooch. He used to work at the Jerome, and he would get us $100 a night rooms. So we're usually like $2,000 a night. and he somehow one time he partied too hard. I don't think it might be my fault.
Can you believe the Jerome is now $2,000 a night?
Oh my God, it was amazing. The rack rate was $1,100 on the back.
Yeah.
So, but he didn't show up for work, and we were staying there. My buddy, 210 Todd and I. So we went down to brunch, and he was the sous chef. We're like, okay, tell Sean we said, hey. He's like, Sean didn't come into work today. And you guys got to get out of the place. you guys don't get another free night if he's not here. So my stupid ass motherfucker got fired over. So, I don't know what happened, but anyway.
So
but I still know some
is
people up
Aspen
there.
your favorite?
Aspen's incredible. It's absolutely
Yeah.
incredible. And what's funny, people always talk about how snobby it is. So it's not that snobby. It's not snobby.
I like the other side of Aspen. It's called Marble. It's
Yeah.
right on the other side of, Maroon Bells.
Yes.
If you hike over Maroon Bells, you're in Marble. That's where stone's carved and the marble mines are. And
Wow.
the Crystal River.
Right.
And it still has that kind of folksy Colorado feeling.
Yeah.
And it's just as gorgeous as anywhere in Colorado. But
How cool is
you
that?
should go up there sometime.
You know, if you take the turn.
Redstone? Do you know Redstone?
I don't know.
So if you're going to Aspen, if you turn to go to Carbondale
Yeah.
and just keep going, you get to Marble.
I don't think I've ever been to Marble. You know, there's so many places in Colorado.
Have you been to Pagosa Springs?
I have been to Pagosa Springs.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, turn on Carbondale, you keep going, and you go to Pagosa Springs, but right along the way, you can turn left and go up to Marble.
Okay.
It's really pretty. I suggest you go there.
You know, I used to like if you take the turn and go to Maroon Bells, there's a tennis court out of nowhere, just one single tennis court sitting there. And you're looking at Maroon Bells, and my brother and I used to pull off and we'd hit the ball right there. Just
you would?
Just because it's like surreal. You're playing tennis, and it's like it's just like this total bucolic setting.
I don't remember that.
And all the bells are right there, and you're just like, okay. It's a little bit surreal, so it's really cool.
You mentioned your brother. Does he live here?
He lives in the Highlands, yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we've been to some shows
Great.
together.
Your mom's
but
here?
My mom's here. She lives a block from him. And we just put her in a little home there, a block from my brother. So it's easy to get over there.
Fantastic.
And my sister moved back here from Brooklyn to take care of my mom. So the band's all here.
So you got your family,
Yeah, we hang out still.
which is grand.
We hang out. We got an argument over COVID, but we made up. Kissed and made up.
Well, is McLaughlin a Scottish name?
No, Irish is dead
It's
as long.
Irish,
Dead as
okay.
long.
Well,
And that's part of my.
we have a lot of Irish too, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, there's a temper there somewhere. You know, we all
There's
have
a-
it.
Yeah, we wear our heart on our sleeves usually.
Absolutely.
Irish. Yeah, sometimes you're like, you tell everybody everything. I'm like, so what? That's what I do. I'm trying to be reserved. It's just what it is. I am who I am.
Hey, Johnny, have you ever written a song?
I have. I wrote a song called Sacrosanct, and I want to record it. And I wrote all the parts in my head. I wrote the lyrics, and I sing the lyrics. And then I wrote, I haven't written, but I've sung into the microphone the guitar, what each guitar player does. There's two guitar players, a bass and a drums. And I have all of it go through my head. I can hear the whole song in my head, every single instrument.
Can you say a little bit of it? You don't want to?
I probably could. The men did gather along the hill, ancient ruins, a secret trail. I can't remember the whole thing right now. I wrote about it a couple
That's
years
all
ago.
right. That's
But
all right. It's
under
nice.
pressure, I don't know. But
What's it about?
it's about the world's. We did good versus evil. The world's coming to an end, and evil forces are coming. And there's a conclave of men that are gathered to fight the evil, Satan. And so there's one part that says, incantations, they begin to sing. They form a circle, a power ring. Incantations, they begin to sing. Dun, 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 dun. And then the guitar goes, I got the whole thing goes through it.
I think you should
I'm telling
produce
you.
that.
Well, I'm hoping Dave will record it for me.
Sounds a little bit like the Knights Templar. You know?
It's very Knights Templarish. Yes,
Yeah.
it is, definitely.
I like
And
it.
so, there's a...
I like it. That's deep, Johnny.
It's good stuff. Man.
Yeah.
And the word sacrosanct is just such a great word.
It's a beautiful word.
Isn't that a great word?
I wonder where the root of that is Sancre? Is it French?
Sacre is
French? Like sacre heart?
Yeah, heart.
Yeah, that's French then,
yeah,
right?
sacre is definitely
Do you
French.
know French?
Je parle français un petit peu.
Oh, not bad.
Yes.
Not bad.
They don't teach French very well in our schools in America. But j'écris français très bien, je lis français très bien, mais je parle français un petit peu. Quel dommage. I can write. We used to read L'Étranger, The Stranger by Albert Camus, and we'd read Jean Valjean, what's it, Les Miserables by Victor
Les
Hugo,
Miserables.
and we'd write an essay in French about the book that we had read in French, but they didn't teach us how to say hi to somebody that's walking.
How to do the dialect?
It's ridiculous because in France, in the French language, when they write very formally. And so in certain settings, of course, you speak very formally. But then when you are just talking like with the person your buddy at the bar, it's very slangy. But they didn't teach us the slangy part, which is what you want to know, kind of. So they would say, "Est-ce que vous avez à la plage?" Is it you were going to the beach? Or "Vous à la plage?" You go to the beach. So you're talking to somebody. It'd be like if somebody studies from Japan studied English. He said, "What's up?" And they looked up. Because what's up? They didn't teach us any of that stuff.
So when you go to France, can you talk with French people?
I'll bet you when I go to France that it'll come very
back.
naturally, and I guarantee you they won't let me come home if I go to France. They'll be like, "You're not American, you're European, and you're not going anywhere." So I don't know if I can go. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to go because I don't think I'll come back.
Have you been?
No, I've never been to France, unfortunately. I'm a huge Francophile, too. I love French art, and especially French wine and food. Oh, filet Wellington with a little foie gras and a Bordelaise sauce. With burgundy.
It's time you go.
Is it Gevrey Chambertin? Yeah, I need to go there.
Yeah, do you dream in French?
No, je ne rêve pas.
Do you dream?
I dream, and I've had a dream within a dream before. And I've my dreams. A lot of times lately, I wake up from dreams like, whew, thank God I'm not in that situation. I'm like in a predicament. I'm like in a seriously situation where it's like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And I wake up. I'm like, whew, thank God.
Yeah.
This happens all the time lately. I don't understand why.
I bet you that the whole collective is having dreams like that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, how do we get out of this?
I wonder if the COVID had anything to do with it. Because I'm telling you, people don't understand. People don't understand how bad COVID messes
How about our
us
political
up.
system right now?
Well,
how do we get
how about
out
the political
of this?
system of the world right now?
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, it's craziness, man. I'm really into the politics lately. I've never been in politics in my life.
Well,
but I watched the Senate hearings and stuff.
We're at a turning point.
The Senate hearings are incredible. And it was pathetic because, we watched total tangent, but I watched the Senate here, the federal judge here approve, the nominees have to be approved by the Judiciary Committee. And so they're asking these people questions that are going to be federal judges and determine like a lot of things that affect our lives in huge ways. And this senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy, asked this lady what the Second Amendment or the second article of the Constitution was, and she didn't know what the second article of the Constitution was.
How did she get out of that?
And she was approved. Because that time I think it was 12 to 13, the Democrats, and all of them voted for it. It was a Biden appointee. And this lady did not know the second article of the Constitution. And just like, now, if you're just a regular person and you may or may not know what the
these aren't regular people.
These are federal judges. They've been lawyers forever, and they didn't know anything. I knew way more about the law than they did, and they got approved.
That's embarrassing.
It's pathetic, and it really hurts. It's really not good at all.
We're in a fourth turning, so you'll live to see the next first turning.
Yeah.
That's when all the arts.
Tell us what the turning is.
Oh, do you know the books, The Fourth Turning?
I don't know the books, The Fourth Turning.
Do you like to read books?
I read books.
This is a
historic
book about the secular calendar and how we go through 4 turnings every 100 years.
Wow, okay.
And then Neil Howe is this story, and he goes way back to Roman times, and then he proves it. It's a history lesson.
Wow.
But right now we're in a 4th turning.
So is it every 25 years, or is it just 4 times?
No, it's not
4 times
that.
every. Okay, gotcha.
It's not that succinct.
It's not rigid. Yeah.
It's not that rigid. The last one was, going into World War II, but it's the buildup of the Depression everything that happened, but when you come out of it, you have this thing called the first turning, and that's when the artisans and all of life comes into newness,
which is perfect because I just started a new renaissance, so that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
So right now, what are we? 2025. It'll probably happen in 7 years.
Perfect.
We'll really feel
well,
it.
I'm going to warm us up for it because
we'll really feel it in about 7 years. So
you're
get all your instruments and gear.
Seriously.
Get your songs ready.
Well, I've been studying the Renaissance, the Italian Renaissance, and the
Renaissance?
the
Italian?
Renaissance, which
The Italian
started
Renaissance?
in Italy, right?
Yeah,
started in Italy.
that one.
So it was the Renaissance. I think there's only
That's when the fork was invented, among other things.
Right. But it was the artists and the musicians that made the scientists think of things.
Exactly.
It wasn't the other way around.
Exactly.
Most people
Leonardo
always
da
think
Vinci was both.
Leonardo was that's right. He was the quintessential crossover
and
guy.
You're going
Absolutely.
to see that again, where people are artists and scientists, and they're Renaissance people.
The Renaissance people, but it was a collective too. It was just everybody just went up a notch.
Yeah.
And so because it was just permeated the air, and it just was. It wasn't a. It just kind of happened out, but it was the artists and the musicians and the philosophers.
Everything they invented.
Unbelievable.
They invented. We're going to see that again.
Discovering, you had your Galileos and your Copernicuses, and
they all crop up too.
And it came from the musicians and the artists.
Yeah,
it influenced them, not the other way around.
Thank you.
Which is so different. I think most people would think that it was there was a bunch of scientific discoveries, and so everybody thought it was really cool, and then they played a lot of music and art, and did a lot of art. No. They did the music and art.
Yeah.
Inspired the culture, which set up the people thinking differently.
And what are great cities known for?
Culture, music and art, and
no matter how
which
old
is why
they
we
are.
all owe this lady a great debt.
Can we sit there and talk about the wars that happened in Rome, or can we just talk about how beautiful the Colosseum is?
And how it's still standing. It's still standing. Those buildings, incredible.
Yeah.
How many of the 7 ancient wonders of the world are right there?
Oh, they've put new ones in now.
Yeah, well, they're still the 7 ancient ones, though. Those are the ones.
Those hanging gardens of
Hanging
Babylon.
Gardens. That's the only one that's is it still there? No. The Parthenon.
No, it's been
Hanging Gardens, of course. Hanging Gardens are gone. The
pyramid.
The pyramid's the only one that's still there. The
pyramid.
Hanging Gardens they withered a long time ago, unfortunately.
Hey, do you believe in that? Like when the pyramids were built, and there were pyramids being built all over the world. You know that.
Right. Like in
so
Mexico
we're talking about the
Central
collective
America.
consciousness.
Right.
And how that happened at that time.
Well,
and, they're still not all in existence. So what do you think's going on all over the world now? I mean, you've seen it with music.
Confusion, Tower of Babel is what's going on in the world right now. Chaos.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to. I hope you'll join me because you can't have a Renaissance by yourself. So we got. No, she has a museum and a concert hall, a amphitheater.
Yeah.
So you are one. You are music and art incarnate. So thank you for that. And
well, thank you, Johnny Concert.
But I'm telling you, we're going to talk a lot more about that stuff.
Yeah,
because my new Renaissance is, I'm discovering a lot of things, and I'm going to bring single-handedly get everybody back on another level. And
are you going to start learning how to cook?
It's time. I know a little bit. I know a lot about eating good food. I've been fortunate that way.
Okay, what's your favorite restaurant?
Well,
in Denver.
The history of Denver or in Denver?
Paris or Albuquerque.
In Denver right now?
Maybe you don't go out to eat much.
I don't as much as often as I used to because my father passed away, and he was my
restaurateur.
Yes, he was my restaurant buddy.
Dudley's.
Dudley's was his favorite restaurant of all time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said was the best restaurant in history of Denver. And Dudley's was a little place on 6th Avenue there.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun back in the day.
Yes, it was French basically, and had French wine, and
it was
we
friggin' all there.
Mel Masters and Blair Taylor. Blair went on to form Barolo Grill.
He's still going.
Yeah, I see he's sold Barolo, but he's still got the wine importing company, and that was the best thing about the Barolo Grill was it's a wine importer and as well as a restaurant.
Yeah, and they take their whole staff.
They take their whole staff to Italy every summer.
Every year. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But they have certain wineries. They forge relationships with certain vineyards. Like maybe they only produce 200 cases a year, and they like them so much that they want to them to carry their wine. So there'll be certain wines that you can only get 2 places in the world, in Italy or at the Barolo Grill in
I
Denver,
haven't
Colorado.
been to
Isn't that crazy?
Barolo for a long time.
Yeah, last time I went there was average.
But
it used to be the best restaurant in Denver for a while.
Yeah, my favorite way to eat there is at the bar.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But my friend Brian Laird used to be the chef there, and he's
not any longer.
He's not any longer, and no, it wasn't quite as good.
So tell me just one place you like to eat.
The Original Pancake House is the best restaurant in Denver, I think.
I want a high five on that. That's right by my house.
It's so good. The other day I asked him why it's so good.
Oh,
I said, why the hell is this so... I mean, every single bite I take is ambrosia.
know.
And the guy said, well, first thing we do when we get here is we whip the butter fresh every morning. And then we have a separate butter fridge just for the butter so it doesn't absorb any odors of any other
so
thing.
funny.
And every single thing they do is kind of like that. You know?
That's so funny you said the
Isn't that funny?
pancake.
I love the Hillstone and Cherry Creek. Their French dip is by far the best French dip you've ever had in your life.
Yeah.
But I think Original
Have you
Pancake House
been
might
to
be my favorite.
Nafavola by my house?
What is it?
Nafavola.
No, I don't know it.
Okay, we'll have to go there sometime.
I've been to the Venice by your house, which is quite good.
Well, the bar's fun.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Well, Venice downtown is what I used to go to on a
And
regular
we're sitting
basis.
here advertising restaurants.
Yeah, I don't know why we're doing that, but
I don't either.
but we digress.
You digress. Something to talk about, right?
Yes, but yeah. So I continue my research for my Johnny Concert podcast. Often I was at the Excision, like we were talking about last weekend, and Rick Springfield's Thursday. And or is he Thursday? And then
He's Thursday.
Falling in Reverse is coming Sunday.
Oh, are you going to be there Thursday?
I'm going to be there Thursday.
To see Rick Springfield?
Oh, sure. Jesse's girl. You cannot do that. Jesse's girl.
Yeah. No, I'm going to be thinking that song all the way home.
But I do concerts. I could go there, and if it's not very good, I just leave. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
And if it's sometimes
When
they
you're by
surprise
yourself,
me.
That's exactly what I do.
That's the other thing too. Is that why I don't go with a bunch of people?
Okay,
'Cause
I'll go.
I'm like, I'm ready to go. You just got here.
Well, I can also hang out with Sky, you know.
Yes, I love going to Fiddler's Green because I know her, Cynthia and her son Sky is a good friend of mine. Her son Paul's a good friend of mine. Her daughter Blair is a good friend of mine, and I can hang out with either one of them in the box or
Yeah,
in the back of the
and everybody's
VIP
wondering how
bar.
I got on this show. It's because of all my kids.
Well, you know, it's. The first time we met, we were quoting T.S. Eliot together, so
Yeah, we
it was
were.
kids. It was meant to
Hey,
be.
I remember that too.
It was New Year's Eve in your backyard. It was
Oh my gosh,
quite a good
yes.
night. Yes.
Wow.
Well, let's go then. You and I. Well, the evening spread out against the sky. The love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. That's a good one.
Oh
So
man,
I think
that was right after.
I think I
Roger
made it.
passed away.
Yes. No. Yes. Okay.
Yes, it was,
Yes, it was.
yeah.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Oh wow, that's
Amazing.
right, Johnny.
It was good stuff. So we
And
were like,
stood
I guess.
outside just like, you know, it was good old times in Ireland.
It sure was.
In a fire and it's New Year's
Whiskey
Eve.
and a shot of whiskey, and then then everybody else said, "Well, we're doing the countdown. What should we do? What do we do at midnight?" And we looked at each other and said, "You sing All Things Sign, duh," you know.
Oh.
And then we were like, "I guess we better hang out because we know we're just we got T.S. Eliot and All Things Signed. We might as well just hang
Yeah,
out."
we got a little bit of the
So we're
British Isles
buddies.
going on, didn't we?
We got a natural connection for sure.
We do, Johnny.
It's so nice to see you.
I appreciate that.
It was
Thank
so fun.
you.
So fun.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Thank you for interviewing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why she interviewed me, but we'll reverse the tables next time
'Cause it's
because
been-
she's got lots of good stories about Fiddler's Green.
It's been so long since I've interviewed anybody,
That's
and I
it.
used to do it all the time.
Well, you did a good job,
And it was really fun. I'm kind of rusty, but
I
you know,
think it was pretty
you're a
good.
good friend. So thanks for letting me do that.
Thank you very much, and
I
take
learned
it for
some
what
stuff
it is.
about
I think
you.
it was good. It was good, and we did some really good tangents. You know, podcasting is a lot just about the tangents. You know,
Yeah.
and wherever you go, and you never know where it's going to end up. So, well, thank you very much. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Johnny Concert wrapping up the podcast.
Yeah.
And please subscribe to the channel. Please push the like button. Please share it, and leave comments. We love comments. Tell us what you think. And so we'll see you at the next one. Have a good one. Rock on.
Bye.
Thank you.
Johnny, 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 Johnny.